Welcome to the HR Empowerment Podcast, where we will uncover strategies and new insights from HR professionals who discuss up-to-date regulations, best practices, and the most pressing topics like diversity and equity, leadership, dealing with difficult situations, and much more that affect your bottom line and business. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Wendy Sellers here at the HR Lady. We are here in our 5-part series, and we're talking about keeping employees motivated to learn and remain engaged so that we all win. We have an expert guest here, Dr. Carrie Graham. Hey, Dr. Carrie, how you doing over there?
I'm well, Wendy. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be here and share some insights.
Hey, I love that your main focus is to help small and mid-sized businesses, because that is what our country is made of, and that's actually what the world is mostly made of, is small and mid-sized businesses, even though corporate greed is along the way of the large businesses, but the good companies.
Yes.
We're all small and medium-sized, and we usually don't have resources like you. So I'm so thrilled to brag about you to everyone that will listen. And I want to know right now how the heck we train employees. We get them to retain that knowledge, to make it part of their memory base. They're happy to be there because we've created a customized learning journey. They're like, yay, this is great. How do we now get them to actually utilize those skills that they've learned?
Yeah, the key is, again, focusing on them. It's not about you. It is not. That's the first thing. Remembering it's not about you and it's totally about them. Does the individual fully understand how and when to apply the skill set? And so one of the ways that you can do that is during the training, as well as after the training, provide opportunities for them to practice. Low stakes happens during the training. They can't, if a mistake is had, money isn't lost, that sort of thing. And the way you can do that is use real life examples. It's giving them an opportunity to talk to one another and share insights, which is an element of adult learning. And the last one is building confidence. How do you build confidence? People have confidence when they know what and how to do something. So that's the first part of it. The second part is, once the training is over, there should be some opportunities, again, for them to get feedback. Because that's the key, is the feedback on the skill set. It needs to be curbed, right? So if they're making a mistake during the training, you don't want them going off into the work, continuing to make the same mistake, right? You have to, as the trainer or the facilitator or the supervisor, you have to step in and provide them with corrective as well as encouraging feedback, so that they are confident in their ability to apply the skill, and it is done effectively.
Yeah, I love it. I was reading some statistics, and articles prepping for our session today, and it fortunately has validated, and you've just validated the way I do my trainings too, which is real life situations. So every single company's training has to be customized, because every single company is different, whether it's a state, a law, an industry, but then also the experience of the managers on the team. Yeah. I saw some stats that were saying, within 24 hours, people forget approximately 50% of what they have learned.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And within a month, people forget 9 what they've learned.
Yeah. And it is, well, then you have to consider, right? So I've seen those statistics before. And one of the things you have to consider is if that content, that skill, that information is top of mind and the only thing that they're thinking about. But if you've got someone who is developing that knowledge and that skill, but once the training is done, it's like a low priority for them, they don't even make it, right? Like, the information is lost typically before they even get home. And so that's why I say using opportunities for people to practice, and the value of practicing is connected for them. That's where it starts to get ingrained, so to speak, and they attach to making decisions about the skill, how and when to use it. That's when,
and that's not even just like a formal education type setting either. We're talking the workplace. We're talking just general life, even with your family and friends.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, JC. You're totally right. You know, when I think about cooking, for example, I can't stand cooking. I'll just use that as an example. I love to eat, but I don't like to cook. You know, the same holds true. I'm fully motivated to watch these cooking and baking shows. I'm interested. I'm taking notes, right? And then 2 hours later, I'm hungry and I'm looking in the kitchen like, yeah, I don't want to do this. Yeah. What did they say? How do I do that? Yeah, I can't be bothered, right? And it's because I didn't have an opportunity to practice it. No one made the connection of value for me. That's it.
That connection of value, the connection of value. Yeah. So when we begin to communicate to connect and we stay genuine, we talked about that in the first episode, bringing that genuine nature of who you are to the table and staying genuine through that interaction, that's got to contribute then to the retention level associated with the learning.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I learned early on, when I first started teaching, I made it about me. I'll be honest. I made it about me and the information and experience that I had to share and all of that. And often, like, there was always a gap in there, like the results with them applying the information and retaining it. Yeah. And it wasn't until I started asking people thoughtful questions about their experience as it relates to the topic. So the amount of time that I spent talking significantly decreased, and their mental capacity expanded. They were talking more. They were trying to solve the problems in the moment. They were sharing insights with one another. And really, I just got back. I was able to sit back and watch it all transpire. And like I said earlier, step in, provide corrective feedback when necessary, provide accolades to improve their self-confidence around that topic. And then people are walking away and they're coming back. They're like, hey, Carrie, I actually used and I tried, in this situation and it worked. And then I tried it in another situation and it worked. And to me, that's the testament, again, that it's not about the facilitator. It is not about the facilitator. That's how you help people remember. You get them talking about how they are going to apply.
With that, it is time for a mic drop right then and there. Wendy, I didn't mean to jump on you, but Dr. Carrie, that was a fantastic close for this episode. Let me tell you, Wendy, over to you.
Yeah, I loved it. Absolutely love it. Again, you just validated me as well. So thank you. Hey, everybody. In our next episode, our final episode of this 5-part series, we are going to cover train the trainer plans and what really works. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you for joining the HR Empowerment Podcast, brought to you by Aurora Training Advantage. We hope you've gained new insight and strategies to navigate the HR profession. We look forward to you joining us again on the HR Empowerment Podcast.